Congratulations on becoming a Mastersharp owner. You now possess the world's most advanced home sharpening system. Now there's no need to throw away drill bits just because they're blunt or broken. There's no need to struggle with chisels and planes that are no longer sharp. And there's no need to pay to have your knives and scissors professionally sharpened. Mastersharp will save you money for years to come. And you'll find that the more you use it, the more uses you'll find for it. Mastersharp can sharpen almost anything around your home. Although you're probably very keen to start using your Mastersharp right away, we recommend that you watch all of this video very carefully before you attempt to sharpen anything. Not only is this for your own safety, but also it will enable you to get the best performance from your Mastersharp by learning the best techniques. After you've viewed this video, you'll want to get sharpening. But you'll probably want to refer back to certain sections again. So, to make the sections about the modules easier to find, we've numbered them. To refer to the information you want, just shuttle through the tape and find the right number. First, let's familiarize ourselves with the base station. This is the power unit that is the heart of the Mastersharp. Before starting, we recommend you screw the base station to your workbench. Although many of the operations can be carried out without the base station firmly fixed down, some cannot. In any case, it's much safer if you make sure that the base station is steady at all times. For best results, you need to fix it so that the end with the grinding wheel is almost at the edge of your workbench. The base station has an on-off switch and a driven shaft that for most modules will have on it a variety of grinding wheels. Later, we'll see how easy it is to replace the grinding wheels and how to put on the power takeoff for the flexible drive. Before we go any further, a word about safety. We recommend that for all operations, you wear safety goggles, as well as making sure that you turn off the power on the base station when you change modules. In addition, it's good practice to remove the plug from the wall outlet before making any adjustments. Always let the grinding wheel come to a stop before you remove any module. Never attempt to sharpen something without a module fixed to the base station. This could be very dangerous. And you should be very careful when you're handling sharp items like scissors, chisels, knives, and plain blades. The Mastersharp base station contains a powerful induction motor, which if treated properly, will give years of service. It is possible to stall the motor. This is not a fault. It is just a characteristic of induction motors. No great torque is required for any Mastersharp operations, and a motor that will stall like this is inherently safer. Remember too that the motor is not rated for continuous use. To fit any of the modules, simply line up the edges with the grooves in the base station. Then just push down until it clicks into place. This positive latching action ensures that the module fits in the correct position in relation to the grinding wheel. To remove a module, just press down on the catch while sliding the module up. However, make sure that the motor has stopped before doing this. The first module we're going to look at is the chisel and plane blade sharpener. One of the many unique features of this module is that it allows you to adjust the angle of grind. It can be adjusted from 20 degrees to 80 degrees. To lock it off at the required angle, just tighten the knurled wheel. Chisels are normally ground at anything between 25 and 35 degrees. Whereas plane blades are normally between 30 and 35 degrees. The module fits on the base station like this. Remember to firmly click it into place. Use the grey grit grinding wheel with this module. To check the angle of grind required, offer up the chisel or plane blade without the motor running, and adjust the bed so that it matches as closely as possible the existing angle. The module is used to sharpen blades that have been well used, or are perhaps chipped. It will reprofile the blade and leave you with a correct sharp edge. However, for extra sharpness, you'll need the chisel and plane blade honing module, also available for your Mastersharp. The bed of the module has integral magnets which help to locate the blade. To ensure that the blade is square onto the grinding wheel, position it so that the edge of it rests against the lip on the bed. Switch on and very gently apply downward pressure, while sliding the blade on its bed backwards and forwards across the grinding wheel. The sparks generated are quite harmless, and the safety cover will prevent most of them from getting near your hands. You'll find that most of the metal debris will collect inside the module itself, like this. From time to time, lift off the blade and check your progress. Don't grind off more than you need to. With a few minutes practice, you should be able to end up with an even grind across the width of the blade. Even small chisels can be held on the sliding bed. For these, you need to use this spacer piece, which is included with the module. This allows the magnets to grip and the chisel to rest on the side of the spacer, ensuring all is still square. The technique required is exactly the same. First, ensure you set the grinding angle. Then, gently move the chisel on its bed backwards and forwards until a smooth result is obtained. Again, really professional results can be obtained after just a few minutes of practice. With a little more practice and a steady hand, you'll also be able to regrind old screwdrivers and even cold chisels to good-as-new condition. You can see that it doesn't take long to revitalize old tools, so your Mastersharp is already starting to save you money. The next module we're going to look at is this, the knife and scissor sharpening module, which will give most straight-edge knives and scissors a new lease of life. Before you attach it to the base station, take a moment to look closely and examine it. This specially shaped cutout is for sharpening scissors. The angle ledge beneath the cutout is at a preset angle designed especially for correctly resharpening scissors of all types. And this part is for most types of flat blade knives. Just by drawing the knife through the slot, it is aligned exactly with the grinding wheel, ensuring perfect contact. These scissors are really blunt. With Mastersharp, we can get them back to prime condition again. Slide the module onto the base station in the normal way. After making sure that it's firmly in place, turn on the power and offer up the scissors. There's no need to use much pressure. Just ensure that you keep the blade of the scissors laid flat on top of the preset angle ledge and move them gently along in this direction. Once one edge has been sharpened, just turn the scissors over and continue to move them across the face of the grinding wheel in the same direction. Always grind from left to right, and you'll get the best possible cutting edge. With a little practice, you'll be able to get every pair of scissors you own back to peak performance. For straight-edged knives, you use the top slots in the module. When sharpening, always use the left-hand cutout to start. Sharpen one side of the blade, staying on the left-hand side for now. This sharpening action will create a small burr on the edge of the knife blade. So now use the other side of the module to deburr it. Again, don't use too much pressure when sharpening knives. If you do, the motor will stall. The technique is to apply gentle but even pressure along the whole length of the blade. This will ensure you get a good, even edge and a sharper knife. With a little practice, you'll be able to sharpen all your straight-edge knives to this standard. That includes all kinds of kitchen knives, as well as hobby and craft knives. For an even finer mirror finish, you can finish off your knives with this white grinding wheel. It's available from your local Mastersharp stockist. See your instruction manual for more information. These are the types of knives and scissors that you'll be able to sharpen with Mastersharp. Remember, it will take a little practice to get really proficient. This is the Mastersharp drill module. It's designed for sharpening high-speed drill bits like this, from 3.1 to 10 millimeters. Its innovative design ensures that high-speed drill bits are sharpened to the correct angle. It automatically profiles or backs off the faces to result in a perfect finish that's easy to achieve. What it won't sharpen are drill bits like this. For masonry drills, you'll need the special Mastersharp masonry drill module. So in future, when you buy new high-speed drill bits, make sure they're like this, the most commonly available design. As drill bits are expensive, you'll save a great deal of money by resharpening the ones you already own, rather than buying new ones. The first thing to do is to set up the module for the correct size of drill bit. This is done by rotating the turret so that the size of the bit you'll be sharpening lines up with the arrow below. This has a positive click to ensure that you align it correctly. If you don't know what size your drill bit is, you can simply try some of the holes until you find one that's a positive fit. Every high-speed drill bit is manufactured with two faces like this. With use, the faces and the cutting edges of the drill bit tend to wear, reducing their efficiency by as much as 100%. Continued use of a bit in this condition is not recommended, as it will lead to overheating, as well as being much harder work. The Mastersharp module will regrind both of these faces to the correct angle and resharpen the cutting edges. This drill bit is badly in need of sharpening. Its cutting edges are badly worn. The turret of the module has unique flutes within each hole to guide the bit onto the grinding wheel at the correct angle. So, when a drill bit is placed in the hole, the flutes in the module line up with the flutes of the bit itself to ensure the cutting edges are ground correctly. As with all Mastersharp modules, the drill sharpening module slides onto the base station and locks in with a positive click. Again, this module uses the grey grit grinding wheel. Sharpening takes place in two stages, one for one face and one for the other. Just insert the drill in the correct hole and let it fall down the flutes until you feel it make contact with the grinding wheel. Then simply apply light pressure whilst continuing to slightly twist the drill bit back and forth using thumb and forefinger within the confines of the guide. To sharpen the other face, just pull out the bit about ½ an inch, then slightly rotate it clockwise whilst lowering it back into the turret. As it drops in, you feel the bit engaging in the special flutes in the module. Now you can check the faces of the drill. They should both be evenly ground. If one face needs a little more, regrind it, a little at a time. A good tip to remember is this. The face you want to grind should be held in your finger and thumb, facing the highest point of the turret. Then, as you drop the drill bit into the hole, you'll be sure that the correct face is being ground. As with most Mastersharp modules, Practice makes perfect. And after sharpening a few drill bits, you'll be quicker and more confident with the operation. With practice, you'll even be able to resharpen broken drill bits. The masonry drill sharpening module is simple to use once you understand how a masonry drill bit actually works. The bit cuts through masonry with the two cutting surfaces shown here. The flutes are merely to carry away the debris from the cutting action. After a good deal of use, the cutting surfaces become worn down and rounded. Thus the bit becomes less efficient, resulting in overheating. The first thing you need to do is to change the grinding wheel to the green silicon carbide one supplied with the masonry drill sharpening module. Use the small spanner supplied with the module to undo the retaining nut at the end of the shaft on the base station. The thread is left-handed, so it will undo the opposite way to conventional threads. This is to stop it becoming loose in normal operation. The spanner shows the way to undo the retaining nut. To tighten it, turn in the opposite direction. First, you must locate the small slots on the inside of the wheel with the lugs on the base station shaft before tightening up the nut. Remember, the left-handed thread tightens up the opposite way to that which you might expect. Slide on the module in the normal way, clicking it home. Without the motor running, adjust the channel so that the angle matches that of the tip of the masonry bit. It must be square to the grinding wheel. Never attempt to grind a new angle. The module is suitable for masonry drill bits of up to 10 mm diameter. The grinding of masonry bits will take a little longer due to the extreme hardness of the carbide tip. Apply gentle pressure. After sharpening one side, turn it over and sharpen the other face. Then check to see that they're even. This bit is now really sharp, and it can be used with a normal electric drill. However, many people use hammer or percussion drills for making holes in masonry. Masonry bits for this purpose have a small chamfer on the front of the cutting edge. If this was not there, the percussive action of the power tool would shatter the tips at their weakest point, where they join. So to sharpen a masonry bit used in hammer or percussion devices, the module allows you to grind a flat in the correct position. Just flip over the special bridge and adjust the angle to the face of the wheel. This allows the cutting edge to be backed off. Check each face carefully as you grind them. It's not necessary to take off a lot of material. Now this masonry bit can be used in hammer and percussion drills. With the module, you can also convert ordinary masonry bits to work with hammer or percussion power drills. Instead of buying new masonry bits, you can save a lot of money by resharpening them with Mastersharp. This is the chisel and plane blade honing module. In order to get a really sharp edge on chisel and plane blades, they must be honed to ensure that any burrs that occurred during their regrinding are removed. First, you must remove whatever wheel you have on your base station shaft to replace it with this fine grit white aluminium oxide wheel, supplied with the module. After attaching the module, making sure it clicks into position, you need to adjust the angle of grind. This angle should be the same or slightly greater than the angle on the blade already. Make sure you tighten up the knurled knob to lock the bed at the chosen angle. Do this with the motor switched off. It's essential that for this operation the base station is fixed firmly to your workbench, as you will need both hands to control the process. In addition, the base station will need to be at the edge of the work surface, as outlined at the beginning of this tape. Now locate the chisel or plane blade on the sliding bed of the module, adjacent to the lip. Holding the blade with both hands, slide it across the surface of the rotating wheel. Keep it moving at all times because if you stop, the blade will heat up too much, which will reduce its hardness. As this is a much finer grinding wheel, it may appear that nothing is happening. Do not be tempted to push too hard, however. It will take a little time to get a fine honed surface. From time to time, check the blade. Now you can see that this blade is in as good a condition as the day it left the factory. All with a little help from Mastersharp. The final module to look at is the flexible drive module. This clever attachment allows you to carry out all sorts of operations that you'd normally have to do by hand, thus saving time and increasing your enjoyment of many home and hobby activities. The first thing to do is to remove the grinding wheel and replace it with the nylon gear that takes off the power to the gearing inside the flexible drive module. Because the shaft turns in a clockwise direction, the thread direction is the opposite from normal. To undo it, place the supplied spanner on the nut and turn it clockwise. It has an arrow showing you which way to undo the nut. Then place the gear wheel on the shaft, making sure it's correctly located, and tighten the nut. Remember that the thread will tighten up the opposite way to the way you might expect. Apply the special grease to lubricate the gears. The gear wheel on the base station will mesh with this gear on the module. This then transfers all the power down the flexible drive to the chuck on a 1:1 ratio. You fix the module to the base station in the normal way, by sliding down the locating grooves. However, do not force the module down the last bit. Gentle pressure is all that's required to ensure that the gears mesh. Next, a word of warning. Don't bend the flexible drive too tightly. This will put undue strain on the motor and may cause it to stall, which will overheat it. At the end of the flexible drive, there's a chuck which will accept all kinds of small drill bits, carbide cutters, grinding burrs, wire and nylon brushes, polishing sticks, and felt mops. To fix these accessories, just undo the chuck far enough for the shaft to slip in, and then tighten it up by hand. From time to time, you ought to check that it's still tight. You can use the flexible drive for all sorts of activities. The Mastersharp flexible drive module is specially designed for intricate polishing, drilling and grinding. In this section, we've just touched on a few of the hundreds of uses it has. The more you use it, the more uses you'll find for it. It is simply the best and easiest method of getting into places that you wouldn't otherwise be able to use a powered drive with. A variety of drill bits, carbide cutters and wire brushes to use with this module are available from your local Mastersharp stockist. In case of any difficulty, contact Plasplugs. You'll find the details in your instruction manual. These are the sections that have been covered in this video. Remember that each one is numbered to make searching for specific sections easy. For more information on how to operate your Mastersharp, please refer to the printed instructions enclosed with the product. In addition, if you require spares or servicing for your Mastersharp, see the details in the manual. Many spares are available from your Mastersharp stockist, but in case of difficulty, please contact Plasplugs direct. Mastersharp is just one of many products designed and manufactured by Plasplugs. Each and every one designed to make DIY easier. Plasplugs, tools and fixings designed to make DIY easier.